In the heart of the sun-drenched savannah, where the baobab trees touch the sky, lay the prosperous kingdom of Odara. For generations, Odara had been ruled by wise kings who listened to the counsel of elders, men and women whose faces were maps of time, and whose minds held the wisdom of ancestors. But when the old king passed into the spirit world, his son, Adwael, took the throne. Adwael was young, strong, and full of fire. He believed his modern ideas were far superior to the old ways. He saw the elders not as a source of wisdom, but as a relic of a bygone era. The first test of his reign came with the planting season. The elders, led by the wise and patient chief Amara, approached the king. They studied the patterns of the migrating birds and the color of the evening sky. "Great king," Amara said, his voice as calm as a deep river, "the signs tell us the rains will be late this year. We must plant the hardy sorghum in the lower fields, which hold moisture longer. The usual yam crop will wither." Adwael scoffed. "Sorghum? That is a poor man's grain. Odara is a kingdom of yams, a symbol of our wealth. We will plant yams, as we always have, but we will plant even more to show our strength." He dismissed the council, his mind set. The elders exchanged worried glances but obeyed their king. The villagers, with heavy hearts, planted the yam fields, ignoring the ancestral wisdom that had guided them for centuries. Weeks turned into months. The sun beat down relentlessly, cracking the earth. The sky remained a stubborn, cloudless blue. The young yam tendrils, once green and hopeful, turned brown and withered into dust. The lower fields, where the elders had suggested planting sorghum, remained barren, a testament to a lost opportunity. Famine, a word unspoken for generations in Odara, began to whisper on the wind. The people's faces grew gaunt, and the laughter of children faded from the village square. Adwael, secluded in his grand hut, felt the weight of his mistake, a heavy stone in his chest. As hunger tightened its grip, a new threat emerged. From the dense jungle to the east came the fearsome warrior tribe known as the Pono. Their leader, a giant of a man named Jabari, was known for his cunning and ruthlessness. They saw Odara's weakness, its people weakened by famine, and decided it was the perfect time to strike. Their war drums echoed through the hills, a sinister heartbeat promising conflict. Panicked, Adwael called his young warriors. "We will meet them in the open plains," he declared, pointing to a map. "We will use our speed to outflank them." Again, Chief Amara and the elders stepped forward. "My king," Amara pleaded, "the Pono are masters of the open field. They will crush us. But they do not know the Whispering Gorge, a narrow pass in the northern hills. It is treacherous, but a small, determined force could hold off an army. The ancestors used it to defend our lands long ago." Blinded by pride and desperate to prove his strength, Adwael ignored them once more. "Ambushes are for cowards. We will face them with honor on the plains of our ancestors." He led his army out, full of bravado. The battle was a disaster. The Pono, experienced and well-fed, moved like a single, deadly organism. They easily surrounded Adwael's weakened soldiers. The warriors of Odara fought bravely, but they were no match. They were forced into a humiliating retreat, leaving many of their brothers behind. Adwael returned to the village not as a hero, but as a defeated leader, the cheers of his people replaced by the wails of widows. The kingdom was now on its knees, ravaged by famine and defeated in battle. Jabari and the Pono army camped just beyond the village, their fires lighting up the night, their victory chants mocking Odara's despair. They sent a messenger with a chilling demand: "Surrender the kingdom's sacred artifact, the Sunstone of Odara, an ancient gem said to hold the spirit of the first king, or the entire village would be burned to the ground by morning." Despair washed over Adwael. He had failed his people. His pride had cost them everything. He had nowhere else to turn. Humbled and broken, he walked to the hut of Chief Amar. The elders were gathered inside, their faces etched with sorrow, but not with blame. Adwael fell to his knees. "I was a fool," he whispered, his voice cracking. "My arrogance has brought ruin to us all. I did not listen, and now we are lost. Is there any hope left?" Chief Amara helped the young king to his feet. To admit a mistake is the first step toward wisdom, my king. Hope is never lost while the heart of our people still beats. Stand up. A true leader learns. Now, you will listen. The elders huddled together, their voices a low murmur, weaving together threads of ancient knowledge, stories, and forgotten strategies. They remembered a legend, a story told to children about a secret tunnel dug by the founders of Odar. It led from beneath the great baobab tree in the center of the village to a hidden cave far behind the Whispering Gorge. It was a final, desperate escape route, never used and almost forgotten. A new plan was forged, not from the hot-headed pride of one, but from the collective wisdom of many. Adwail, this time, listened intently to every word. He divided his remaining warriors. A small group, the fastest and quietest, would take the sunstone and lead the women, children, and elderly through the secret tunnel to safety. Adwail himself, along with a handful of his bravest fighters, would undertake the most dangerous task. They would sneak out of the village and circle around to the entrance of the Whispering Gorge. Under the cloak of a moonless night, the plan went into motion. The village became a hive of silent activity. While his people escaped, Adwail and his warriors moved like shadows through the bush. They reached the gorge and, using ropes and vines as the elders had described, set a series of traps, falling rocks, and hidden snares. As dawn approached, Jabari, impatient for the surrender, ordered his army to advance. Expecting to march into a defeated village, they were instead met by an eerie silence. Puzzled, Jabari sent scouts ahead. When they didn't return, he grew angry and led his main force forward. At that moment, Adwail appeared at the far end of the Whispering Gorge, holding a simple wooden staff, not the sunstone. "Jabari," he called out, his voice echoing off the canyon walls. "You seek the sunstone. If you have the courage, come and take it from me." Enraged by the trick, Jabari ordered his men to charge into the narrow pass. This was the moment Adwail and the elders had planned for. As the Pono warriors poured into the gorge, Adwail's men sprung the traps. Boulders crashed down, sealing the entrance and exit, and trapping the army inside the narrow canyon. They were confused, disorganized, and at the mercy of the few Udara warriors perched on the cliffs above. The mighty Pono army was defeated not by force, but by wisdom and strategy. Adwail returned to his village, not as a conqueror, but as a humbled king. He led his people back from the caves. In the center of the village, he bowed before Chief Amara and the council of elders. From this day forward, he announced to all his people, "No decision will be made in Odara without the wisdom of our elders. My strength as a king is not in my own ideas, but in my willingness to listen to the voices of experience." A cheer rose from the crowd, louder and more heartfelt than any he had ever received before. The rains, as if waiting for the kingdom to heal, finally came, washing the dust from the land and promising a new beginning. Odara, under a king who had learned that respect and listening were the truest signs of leadership, rose from its hardship, stronger and more united than ever before. And the story of the young king who learned to listen became a legend, told for generations to ensure that the wisdom of the elders would never again be forgotten. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales from the heart of Africa.